EAVE is one of the leading training and networking programs in Europe. We offer workshops for mainly producers but also other industry professionals. Our flagship program that we've been running for almost 30 years now is the EAVE Producers Workshop that gathers over 50 producers every year from Europe and the rest of the world.
EAVE is not just like any other training for producers. I think it's a training that allows you to go deeper into your inner motivation, why you want to work in the cinema sector, and pushes you to a reality check.
Well, we meet a lot of great experts, and they really take their time to talk with us on the single projects. It's really great to have them here, like kind of captured in a hotel, and you can approach them all the time and have sessions with them.
I think that at the end of the workshop, every participant knows what kind of producer they are, what kind of films they want to produce, and how to get there.
Many producers see the digital age as a threat, and at EAVE we're trying to assess this more as an opportunity for them to get adapted to the changes and the new ways to connect with the audience.
The very important aspect also of what we could share with the participant in those sessions is how you can think international at a very early stage.
I'm using this opportunity to develop as an industry professional, as a producer, and also to develop my company as a business. And so far I must say that EAVE effect kicked in.
I would suggest it also to documentary producer like myself, who has mainly a background in documentaries, because this really helps them think a little bit more outside of the box.
EAVE has been in a leadership position of training, the focus on the importance of digital distribution, and is continually pushing the envelope. You know, EAVE stayed one step ahead of what is going on in the industry.
You feel actually you're not alone. You're sharing the same vision, the same obstacles, and the same dreams.
At EAVE we try also to focus on running a business. We think that producers are not only people who produce films, but we are entrepreneurs who have to run a company, and preferably a sustainable company. So we are thinking together with them where they want to be in 5 years and how their business can grow and stay sustainable.
I feel, and my partners in the company also feel, that we've profited tremendously from this time, and I do feel that this will elevate our company to the next level.
Talking about concrete results, over 35% of projects developed at EAVE are successfully realized. 55% of them get an international sales agent on board, and 25% of them have a successful international festival career.
Film is a personal business. The network is best practice. It's how we finance and make our films. And this network is invaluable.
That's it. Thank you.
So my name is Satu Elo. I am the program manager of EAVE's European programs, and now today we are only talking about the Producers Workshop, the EAVE Producers Workshop, which is the main program of EAVE. So normally when people say that they have done EAVE, they normally refer to this program. So it is one of the oldest programs for audiovisual producers in Europe, and funded by Creative Europe, of course, but also Film Fund Luxembourg, and that's why we are based in Luxembourg. But we organize the workshops always in different countries all over Europe. The target group for participating at this program is what we call normally young producers, and people very often have questions about that, like what does that mean? It's not a reference to anybody's age, but it sort of tries to capture the idea that you are still fairly early stages in your professional life as a producer, but already professional. So it's not like a school, it's definitely professional, but for people who are normally already established in their own countries, but want to take the next steps to the international level. Really the philosophy behind EAVE is really to help people sort of think about methods and strategies and ways of thinking that will help them make a successful career. So even though a lot of the participants participate with a project, the main focus is not in helping develop this one project, but really to help you make a whole career successfully in this industry. The main method is really sharing. So even though there are experts and tutors, the idea is that it's a group of professionals, the participants who come, and they all share their knowledge, their experience, their different geographic background. So it's really about bringing all this knowledge together and helping each other make out how you can make your own way out of that. The format is like this, that it takes place over 1 year. There are 3 residential workshops, each of them 1 week, one in March, one in June, one in October. And at the workshops, about 2/3 of the time is spent in group work. So we select every year 50 participants from around 40 different countries. So it's really international, mostly European, but also from outside of Europe. And those 50 participants are divided into 4 groups. Each of the groups is led by an experienced producer, but like I said, it's not like a teacher-student situation. It's more like, you know, the group leader is moderating conversation in the group, and everybody in the group is reading each other's projects, but also company profiles, and everything is then discussed together. All of your projects, but also whatever plans or fears or challenges you might have. So everything is discussed in the group in a very sort of confidential setup. So it's all about trust and trusting that you can say things without, you know, them spreading out of the group room. Besides the group work, there is also plenary sessions, which are really linked to any possible topic linked to development, co-production, and also going towards the market. So from legal issues and financing towards pitching and marketing and everything in between. And on top of that, there are individual meetings with the different experts. You can participate with a project, which then makes your participant focusing on project development, or you can participate without a project, which we then call a participant focusing on career development. Everything gets everything though, if everybody gets everything though, because those who come without a specific project actually pick another project in the group that they follow throughout the year. So whenever that project is having, for instance, a finance plan meeting or marketing meeting, the person following the project will be there too. So they will actually get sort of the content. And of course, the idea is to pick a project that would be like similar to what you might make yourself or that you are interested in. And of course, sometimes it even ends up in being a co-production, but that doesn't have to be the case. Those who come with a project are invited to bring their writers to workshops 1 and 2, because in those workshops, there's also a lot of feedback on the story development. And it, of course, makes it easier if the writer is there firsthand to discuss. And the 3rd workshop, on the other hand, turns more towards the market, and the writers are no longer invited. To the 3rd workshop, we invite instead around 60 to 70 decision makers who are sales agents, commissioners, fund representatives, distributors, and they come to meet the participants. And here, the very important thing to understand is that it looks a little bit like a co-production market with all these individual meetings, but the decision makers actually come with a very different mindset, because they know it's not a co-production market. For them, it's not only meeting projects that fit their slate, but it's really, for them, it's a platform to meet interesting upcoming producers and companies. And to facilitate that, we actually have very long meeting slots, 45 minutes. And the idea is that you have enough time not only to pitch your project, but also to talk about your company or other projects, but also to ask them about their company. Like, let's say if you're having a meeting with somebody from Arte, you can actually ask them like, okay, in the future, if I have something that I think could fit you, so what is the best practice to approach you, at what stage, and so on. And it's really about like getting to know them, getting these connections in these meetings. So 2 years afterwards, you can say, okay, hey, we met at EAVE, can we have a meeting in Cannes? And they will be much more open than if they have never heard of you. Once the workshop year is over, it's not at all the end. EAVE is a network. So once you have done an EAVE program, you're part of the network forever. And what we do is we promote everybody. in newsletters, and we also do matchmaking. We have a lot of partnerships with different co-production markets and programs and other training programs as well. So we are also trying to individually matchmake members of our network with the right events and right platforms. And also we organize, of course, a lot of networking events for our network. So the selection process is quite a long one. The selection is very competitive. Like last year, we got about 250 applications for the 50 seats, which means that about 20% of the applicants got in. And what we do is, first we do a pre-selection based on the application package only. So the application deadline is in the end of August, and by end of September, we will up the number of the applicants down to around 100 based on reading the applications. After that, those 100 who made it through the pre-selection will get an online selection interview with our head of studies. And here it comes again what I said in the very beginning, that we want to look at people like individually, because what it means, like, is this the right moment for you to come to EAVE? It can only be understood when we totally understand who you are, at what stage, what is your motivation, what do you think you're going to get out of it, to see if this is really the best timing. So that's why those selection interviews. And so that takes some time, as our head of studies is also a producer, so it takes some months, and then we do the final selection just before Christmas. So that's it for now, I would say, and I'll get back to you when you have questions.
What we started in 2012. 2012 was actually for us very early. We are still a young company, well, looking from our perspective, and EAVE made a huge difference for us. I had at that point the possibility to take part with the project, and I would still totally agree with Satu saying that both makes totally sense. It's not that you have to wait until you have the right fitting project if you as a producer are in the right moment to participate, or the other way around. It's good for the project to participate, but in general it's so much about the development of a personality as a producer or a business personality, and how you position yourself and how you want to position yourself in this industry. And this is half from amazing experts. So our decision was really, I was looking already when I was at Film University. I was always hearing about that program, and my brother and me, who started out with our company, Weydemann Brothers, we were always interested in not only in German films, but also international. So have the diversity in our lineup. And always saw the possibility of co-production and to find other producers you are like with, to build up a good relationship as a very important part of our company building. So EAVE, we realized, would be a good step, and in fact it was a very, very good year, and still half of my international partners are still coming from that year 2012. Because you learn through the group work very well your part, like the other personalities, you get to know them and how they work. And you, on the other hand, also here there, let's say, challenges which prepare you or me at that point as a young producer a lot for what came in the following years. So it was kind of a really a boost for our career starting and company starting. If you're having a fairly small company with 3 big projects for the next year, then probably it might not be the best year to participate, to fully get what the program can offer. It's on one hand, it doesn't feel so much because it's so fruitful. So it's actually very effective to put in that time, but it's not only the 1 week, and the 1 week is very exhausting, by the way. But I feel that this makes totally sense. So you have to prepare not only your own project, but you have to really get from the workshop what you want. You have to prepare the other projects of the group. You have to understand the challenges of these projects in order to get your own knowledge out of that, or to gain out of that. And this 3 times a year makes, of course, in the end, quite some time you invest. And then during the workshop, it's just 7 days, 6 days and a half. I'm not sure how much in general, but it's very intense. So that after the year, also you have the feeling you spent the whole year with these other partners in a good way. So that puts also a bond, which probably after 30 years you go to Berlin or on another market to Cannes, and maybe you haven't seen one of them for a couple of years, but you still have the feeling, okay, directly into good talkings. So it's very intense, but it's definitely worth it. I couldn't say how many projects we did and how much of those were directly infected through co-producers we found in other countries, through financing strategies we thought about, through how many projects we also at a certain point didn't realize or didn't choose to get on, because we learned how actually we find out which projects are the right ones for us at the right stage and so on. So basically I can't really narrow it down to 1 or 2. It's just for me as a producer, but also I think for our company in general, it's one of the 3 or 4 columns of our now whatever 7 or 8 years of pretty positive building up company. And in the meantime, we have 4 producers and 8 people in the company. And also a colleague of mine participated in the European in the Producers Workshop. I think 2 years ago, Satu, is that right, Yvonne? And same again. So it's not only the experience from 2012, but also very recent. Her whole, let's say, international landscape changed. We have a lot of new projects coming from that part. We have very trustful relationships. And of course, it's not only in between producers, but also for me, my first important steps towards the sales agents in order to get on their plate, to have them asking me or being in contact every year, what's coming up, what are the new titles, understanding how to use A festivals for a career of a film. So there are a lot of steps. I finally, I have to say, go back to that experience, and then I always followed up. That is the network. It's not only the experience in 2012. It's in almost all important European markets. We have gatherings or just informal meetings, but often also organized informal meetings, let's say, and have a drink, so we can catch up almost every quarter in the year, and so you keep on with this process of learning and being in touch. So it's all of it a little bit.